It's Greach, and today, basically, I made this beat last night, tried to record it, and I updated. I just actually just remember that I updated OBS and it reset kind of the audio settings. And so anyway, I was in kind of a bad mood, but I needed to make a video. I'm gonna get to like a channel update later. 120 BPM, a little slower than I usually do. But this is actually what I used to work in. Like, this used to be my default. Tell you why later. Basically, found this sample. I'll actually play the full version first on Looperman. Wait, I can't tell what the fuck is. I can't tell which is which. Oh, okay. So here's the original version. Just Looperman. It's called a Travis Scott melody. It's really not. It's more like an Earl Sweatshirt type beat. I actually listened to Earl Sweatshirt's new project or whatever, a little 15-minute like EP. So anyway, here is the sample. And then basically I cut, this is a 16 bar sample. I cut it down to the first 8 bars. I also turned it up a little bit to help it, yeah, so you can hear it basically with the drums and the bass, which I'll get to next. So here's the kind of the main melody. Also, just a side note, I don't really listen to that much Travis Scott. I did happen to just randomly listen to the song. It's called Highest in the Room, like yesterday, the day before or something. But I don't know, do you think that's like something he would use? Just let me know. But I'm pretty sure that's not like, from what I've heard of Travis Scott, it doesn't sound like anything close to a sample he would use. So next, I made a little bass line. So Earl Sweatshirt, especially in this new project, is not very bass intensive in terms of his production, but I am, as a producer, you can never have too much bass. So I just went with it, and so that's just kind of one thing to keep in mind, that when you are making beats that are inspired or intended to sound like a certain person, don't try to essentially verbatim copy that style. You have to be unique in some aspect, and probably if he or she's a good artist, the person who would potentially buy that beat wouldn't be looking to get a direct like copy of a beat from the artist that it is the type of. So anyway, I made this bass. I didn't make the bass. It's bass sound from Nexus, which means this is a rare accomplishment for me. I made a beat without using Electra X, but it's the Thrashed XB, which is a free XB, if you can tell. It's just called Deet bass, I guess. So yeah, here just there's a pattern. Here's that. One thing that I always appreciate in basses and really any sound is the slide, and which it's been very long since I've used Nexus. And when I used to use it, I never really understood how to do stuff, but I believe you would go to mod and portamento here, because that means like, I don't know, something in Italian, slide or whatever. but also that is a kind of like a sine, just a normal, very basic sine bass. And I put Camel Crusher on it, used the Tube Warmth preset, didn't mess with anything. This is not just my favorite preset, but also the only preset I use with Camel Crusher. You've probably heard of Camel Crusher, but if you haven't, it is a free plugin, so you should definitely check it out. Great for distortion. Then I just threw a EQ on it. Usually you can see there's these two frequencies here that the sound kind of levels out to, and it just had a lot of kind of random shit, so I cut that all out with the EQ. And then now onto the drums. I just had a slight voice crack there. So this kick, it might sound kind of clicky at first, which once again, don't force yourself into a certain style. But once it's actually in the beat, it's not that clicky. So yeah, here's the kick. And by the way, if you're ever, obviously having the velocity all the way up is going to make it clickier and more distorted overall, but it does sound better, like in the actual beat. And so yeah, I'm aware that I could lower the velocity and have it. Holy shit, I just realized I'm gonna delete that. I don't like that being there with nothing there. But anyway, I'm not gonna actually play the pattern because there's a lot of empty space. So second snare is just before it, and then basically these are the only two ways that I would use an open hi-hat. Is I would have it like right before an eighth note before the snare, or I would have it snare eighth note with a hi-hat, close hi-hat hitting, and then have, which I actually just noticed this is off a little bit, but this is no, it's not. So snare here, eighth note, and then have the open hi-hat hit. This is the sound. This is actually from this pack from this guy, Slade or whatever. I have this on my channel. He's kind of a whack guy, dropped out or whatever. And then after I said that in the video, though, he messaged me and said he didn't drop out, so I don't know where he is now. But anyway, use the and that kicks from him too, as well as this hi-hat, closed hi-hat, just a basic eighth note pattern with some little variation. I'm actually go back in and add some more with panning or whatever, because it's something that is used to give. I actually just noticed my mic isn't fucking plugged in, so the quality might be kind of bad. Whatever. In a more simple beat, hi-hats can be used to give more movement to it than the beat would normally have. So here's that. And also one thing I forgot to add is that I guess normally in more trap-oriented music, the hi-hats are kind of scattered and what would you say? Like there's more rolls, and that's how trap provides more music. But then I've noticed if you're going for more of a boom bap style, try to mess with the velocity and panning more to give the beat more movement, while still keeping it kind of simple and I don't know, straight or whatever. So anyway, here's the snare. This is a snare I used to use a lot, and it just has a lot of. So there are no effects on this. I haven't done anything to it. It has a lot of like ambience to it. So yeah, I used to use that a lot, and I just felt it was really fitting. But basically, yeah, I'm gonna try to do the impossible this week, and that would be making a video during the week, because I actually, I guess I made like one or two videos this past month, or last month. We're pretty into the month now, and yeah, channel still did okay. And so I was like, man, I actually do shit. So yeah, I'm trying to do some more stuff, just to put more time to it or whatever. Just gotta keep going. But yeah, thanks for watching. This is a little longer beat here, but thanks for watching. I have no idea what I'm even. I don't know what I usually say. Thanks for watching. Here's the final beat.